Do you struggle to keep your mana up with your ambitions? Do your dreams of winning with Helix Pinnacle feel out of reach? You may be suffering from hidden hand syndrome. Introducing Reveal, the breakthrough from Rasheen Roaring Prophet. Join hundreds of Magic players just like these, all showing exactly what's in their hand.
Before Reveal, I could barely cast a creature bigger than a 3/3. Now, thanks to Rasheen, I've revealed my way into wet wheel victories and have more mana than I know what to do with.
Ask your Planeswalker if Reveal is right for you. Side effects of Reveal include explosive mana and the uncontrollable urge to build this exact deck. I'm going to be building a lot of strange and unique decks for this channel, so if you've got an idea for a deck you'd like to see, leave a comment down below. Leave a like if you like this video, and hit subscribe. Why not? It's free, it's quick, it's easy, and you should do it. Anyway, back to the video. In all the excitement around Lorwyn Eclipse, I went and built a deck around an underrated Lorwyn character, Rasheen Roaring Prophet. Rasheen is a legendary giant shaman for 4 mana that has quite the lengthy text box. Firstly, when Rasheen enters the battlefield, you'll mill 6 cards. Then, we can return a card with X in its mana cost from among them back to our hand. Secondly, Rasheen says that we can then tap her and reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost from our hand. For each card revealed this way, we'll add 2 colourless mana, but with the caveat that it can only be spent on costs that contain X. Ah, got it. So big X spells, Hydras, you reveal your hand, get a whole bunch of mana, and dump it into a misstart Hydra and smash face with it. Not quite. You see, Rasheen says that you can actually spend that mana on any cost with an X in it, not just casting spells. And with a return to Lorwyn on the way, what about a win con, then Helix Pinnacle? Sure, your pod will know what's in your hand at all times, but who cares when they're staring down 100 tower counters on the Helix Pinnacle for the win? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we get even close to winning, we've got to have some cards to reveal, right? Luckily, there's plenty of cards with X in their mana costs for us to reveal in these colours. In fact, almost a quarter of the deck is simply cards that exist to be revealed. Sure, if things get tough, we can always cast them, but let's not assume the worst. We've got classics such as Hangerback Walker and Animist's Awakening, Walking Ballista and Stonecoil Serpent, a mixture of creatures, instants and sorceries that all exist primarily to be shown to your opponents but never cast. Plus, you've got the added benefit of probably never being worth targeting with a Thoughtseize. Right, so we've got all these cards to reveal and we've got a Helix Pinnacle, but what if Helix Pinnacle gets countered? What else do we do? How else can we win? Well, there's plenty of payoffs in these colours. Cinder Elemental and Goblin Dynamo let you sacrifice them for massive damage payoff once you've pumped enough colourless mana into them. Boommobile will do it too, with the added bonus of not having to sacrifice it. Plus, it even refunds some of the mana for your troubles. Death Kiss will turn your opponents against one another when it becomes monstrous, hopefully letting you fly under the radar while they duke it out. And Waker of the Wilds will let you form a bit of a board state with some gigantic animated lands. Speaking of lands, why don't we undeservedly push this deck into bracket 4 territory? Orcish Settlers will let you destroy all of your opponent's lands if you've got the mana to do so. Hilarious. But all of this is pretty small fry. What about a big win con instead? Crackle with Power will deal immense points of damage even with a small amount of mana invested, and Jaya's Immolating Inferno will do the same, if not slightly less impressively, as long as Rasheen or another legendary permanent is on the battlefield under your control. And then we've got the win cons that you came here for. Helix Pinnacle will win you the game in your upkeep if you can get enough mana to build it, and Sands of Delirium and Wet Wheel will grind your opponent's libraries to dust, letting you go for the ever so rare Gruul Mill victory. And that's how you win. But let's be honest, it's never that easy, and you're probably asking yourself, how do we even get there, and what stops this from stalling? Or maybe even, are you insane? For the first two, I've got you covered. For the third one, definitely. Card draw is the bread and butter of any commander deck, especially one that wants you to have plenty of cards in hand to reveal. Cathartic Reunion, Demand Answers, and Harmonize will all keep your hand healthy and plump, and Font of Mythos and Scrawling Crawler do let you claim that the whole deck is actually Group Hug, so there's no benefit to wiping you out. Sometimes, though, there will be a specific card that you're looking for, and for that, we will have to rely on Gamble, although it is less of a reliance and more of a last resort. You see, Gamble will get you your card, you just run the risk of discarding it. Anyway, best of luck. In the meantime, let's talk about Ice Cauldron. Ice Cauldron is, for all intents and purposes, a terrible card.
It looks weird, it reads like a puzzle box, and it was printed before Wizards had anything resembling a functioning R&D department. So instead of staring at hieroglyphics, here's the oracle text. In practice, you exile a card from your hand, dump some mana into the cauldron, and then later on, you can spend that stored mana to cast that exact spell. The catch? The mana can only cast the chosen card, but the upside is that you can pay for it in installments, like Klarna, but for janky magic spells.
The reason that this is so good is that with Rasheen, we can reveal a bunch of cards and then pump it all into the cauldron alongside a big finisher like Crackle with Power. Then we can do that again on a later turn, effectively giving us 2 turns worth of mana to cast a big finisher. But if that's not weird enough for you, here's Ventifact Bottle.
Another one of Magic's strangest cards, Ventifact Bottle is, if you listen to MTG Kaioshin here, actually kinda awesome. Ventifact Bottle lets you basically do the same thing as Ice Cauldron, but without the limitation of casting a singular card. That means that we can store our mana over multiple turns in order to have a massive payoff at the end.
Luckily, Wizards did print a better storage solution in Horizon Stone, but it's so boringly effective that I'm not going to talk about it too much. So you can store your mana in cauldrons or bottles or rocks, but none of that's going to really matter if you're, dead. So let's move on to the protection plan.
While Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, and Elephant Grass both make opponents think twice before swinging your way, the real MVP here is Arborea. Arborea reads that creatures cannot attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a permanent into play during their turn. But once Helix Pinnacle is on the field, you basically never need to cast another spell or play another non-token permanent again. Just reveal your hand, funnel the mana into the tower, and pass turn. Is it thrilling gameplay? Not really. Is it effective? Absolutely. And hey, a boring win con is still a win, so no complaints.
And there you have it. You can simply go your way to a weird Gruul Mill control victory. But before you go, I've got a few fun utility pieces that should definitely be looked at for this deck.
Why wait until your turn before adding the mana to your mana pool? Once you've got Horizon Stone and the Pinnacle on board, every player's turn can get you closer to victory. Awakening, Quest for Renewal, Seedborn Muse, and Sting the Glinting Dagger all untap Rasheen each turn, letting you simply tap her to reveal even more cards and get even more mana. Worried about having to discard cards that could be used for the reveal strategy? Reliquary Tower and Spellbook both make sure your hand stays full. If you do end up pitching some important pieces, don't worry. Paradise Lost gives you the chance to scoop your entire graveyard back into your hand, but if you're not that lucky, Wildest Dreams and Reap the Past guarantee at least something useful returns. And the best part? They've got X in their mana costs, so even if you don't need them right away, you can still reveal them early to keep Rasheen's engine roaring.
Last but not least, we've even got Rasheen's earlier form, ready to cough up some colourless mana should everything else fall apart. And that's a wrap. Hit like if you like this video, leave a comment if you've got any weird deck ideas, and hit subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye.